Hey, what's up, everybody? I am here with the infamous Katie Comfort. What's up?
Hi, Brian.
So, thank you for accepting my invite to interview you. And I have asked Katie for an interview because she's been a fun person to work with. Number one, she took our challenge on. Our 6 week challenge on back when I don't even know when it was,
April 30th.
back in April. And I have her before and after photo here. She lost 9.4 pounds and 3.3% body fat. And as you can tell, that's a significant difference. When a lot of people don't know, most people have no idea what body fat even means. And they just know you know, what, what they want to weigh, right? So most women come in with a weight goal, but not a body fat goal. And, one of the reasons why I asked her to do this interview was because she continues to get better after the 6 week challenge, which is the ultimate goal of this whole program. So, is really to immerse people in, just, give you massive education, support, and focus for a 6 week period. And hopefully you learn so much that you continue making progressions, which Katie's done. And Katie is now an accountability coach for us. And she's awesome. She's taken on her second round of people. So some of you viewing this right now will be in our challenge or maybe finished with Katie. She just finished. How many people did you just have that you finished with?
12.
12 people. Great.
Mhm.
So she just finished with 12 6 week challengers. And I think I gave you 10 more or something like that. And so anyway, so I want all of you people who are currently working with Katie to kind of know her story, her challenges, and hopefully those of you working with any of our accountability coaches can learn from her as well. So I want to do more of these interviews, but we'll start. I've done a couple already, but Katie, I just let's start with why did you take on our 6 week challenge to begin with?
Sure. So I had actually done some work in years before in which I had changed my nutrition plan to eliminate a lot of processed sugars, um, processed foods, refined sugar, all of that, and eating, more of a complete diet of, meat, vegetables, and staying away from most carbohydrates that are like um, pastas and the wheat-based things and flour-based things. And that worked for me. I actually also was eating dairy as well. And that all worked for me for a while. And then I call it the slow creep, in
Mm-hmm.
which I start to notice on the scale and my clothing starting to fit a little tighter over years, to the point of I wasn't happy, and I didn't want to have to go buy all new larger clothing or anything like that. So I decided that I needed to go back and be more strict and get back on that food plan that I had done before. And I tried it, and it was not giving me the same results that it had in the past. It was, um, I just wasn't getting anywhere. And I was realizing that a lot of it was me trying to do it myself and not really having anybody checking on me. Also, I didn't have a specific goal necessarily. And I also didn't have the fitness element. The plan was just about nutrition. It wasn't about toning and things like that. And I'm in my 40s, and I have been procrastinating for a while, adding in weight bearing activities into my daily life. Um, I wasn't quite sure how to do that. And I didn't want to just go to the gym and start lifting weights and hurting myself.
Mm-hmm.
So when this all came across my path, I think it was a Facebook ad, although I've done your boot camp before, so I already
Yes.
knew you from that. I didn't know about this challenge. I had seen the little black dress promotion before, but this was a new thing. And I had just come back from New Orleans and was feeling completely disgusting. And it was like the perfect time for me to get back being healthy. with my eating habits and fitness as well. So that's kind of how I got started.
All right. So tell me about the challenge. So, you and I talked right before about how, my minimum, I kind of say my minimum hope for folks is to lose 10 pounds and 3% body fat. That's kind of what I tell people. And I tell folks, especially in the after, right? I sent a wrap up email, if you remember that. I said, if you basically lose around 10 pounds and 3%, that means your physiology kind of liked this way of living, right? And again, we're not just focused on nutrition. This particular 6-week challenge, for those of you who don't know, is basically focused on 3 key variables: fitness number 1, nutrition number 2, and coaching number 3. So generally speaking, I know if someone lost 10 pounds or more, or 3% body fat, they've done really well. And I recommend people stick with this. And that was really one of the reasons why I wanted to, kind of chat with you on this interview, is because, now we are at, week 17, and I told Katie that I wanted her new photo because she looks so much different already than she did even on her post. So this is what her latest update is. So this is 17 weeks into it. I have a little spell check down here, or not, screwed up there, but it works. So you can see the main thing is her photos. I don't think anybody would have even noticed that if I didn't even say it, because they'd be too busy looking at your transformation, which is great. So, but interestingly enough, she continues to do better. And that is how it's supposed to be, everybody. So you're supposed to continue on post 6 weeks.
Lifestyle change.
Lifestyle, yeah. But so it's cool, but again, it's only, someone may say, well, or someone may be even upset. Like, I've had people be upset. I only lost 16 pounds. And maybe they wanted to lose 25. I don't know. Did you have a number going in, by the way, like a weight loss?
I was just trying to make that 5% in 6 weeks.
Yeah. Well, you can see, that's a good goal.
5% just took longer.
Yeah. So you hit that 5%. That's awesome. And that's one take-home message I want you folks that are listening to get, is that sometimes you're not going to, get everything that you desire in 6 weeks, right? And logically, it took you much longer to put it on than 6 weeks. It may be harder to take it off in 6 weeks, but don't give up, right? So Katie is a great testimonial on what happens when you continue being focused. I do hear a lot, Katie, that people say, well, what do I do now?
Yeah.
I don't know what to do. I don't have the 6-week challenge anymore. I'm like, well, stay on the program, and that, I think it's hard for people, right? To just kind of continue if something works. Even like, people are always on to the next thing. Like, what do I do now? Well, you just did something for 6 weeks that created something pretty successful for you. How about sticking with it until you plateau? So I'm okay with changing things. I think it's a great idea to mix things up in our workouts. That's why we mix up our workouts all the time. I don't want you to get adapted to it. I think it's okay to mix up your nutrition and try different things as well. But let's continue to weigh in every single week. When I say weigh in, we always want to measure body fat every week. So for you, Katie, when do you want to change things? I think when you plateau, or when you want to look a different way. But you may, I don't know. What else do you want to achieve right now? Do you have any more you want to lose?
I don't know. I'm kind of thinking more of trying to work on strength in certain areas.
All right.
So my
but
arms.
You're good with the abs right now. You look pretty. Your photo looks good.
I mean, weight wise, I guess the number, if I were to pick a number, it would probably be 118, because that's what I weighed in college when I was swimming.
I hear that one all the time.
Yeah. When I was in college and I was swimming 20 hours a week.
Right.
I weighed.
All right.
And so I'm like, oh, well, that would be a number that would be cool, because.
Yeah. But the question is, what's your body fat? Yeah. At 118. And I don't know the answer. I'm just throwing that out to you. So that may work. It may not, but yeah. And that's the thing, I think, just for you and other folks to get clarity on is that just what does that number really mean? Because remember, weight is a combination of bone, muscle, water, connective tissue, and we don't want to lose bone or water or muscle or connective tissue. Really, all you want to lose is fat if you really think about it. So that's why really honing in for someone like you now, you don't need to lose a lot of weight. It's just more personal preference at this point. But it's question is what is that body fat that you desire? Because you're already in a healthy mark. It's just what do you want it to be? And that's more of a personal preference. And
Yeah.
so it's not a health issue.
I want biceps like Leslie.
Yes, so do I. So yes, most people do. And part of that is genetics, I think. She would argue.
I know. I'm not going to have biceps like Leslie.
She's got a really good tan too, by the way. So that helps too. So, but yeah, so that's good to have those goals though. So post 6 week challenge, let's create new goals. And, I would recommend folks to continuing doing our Fit 3D every 4 weeks as well. So I know you haven't done it in a while, but let's do that. I'll get more specific on our measurements. Pictures are great though, as you can see. It's like some people are frustrated because they don't see the body fat scale moving, just because that sometimes hydration compartments get thrown off. And this is based upon our Omron scale, the 5%. So you may even be 6-7% on our Fit 3D maybe. But regardless, look at the difference in the photos. Just kind of highlighting that for a moment. That tells everything right there. So people hate taking their photos in the beginning, but I say you're gonna appreciate this afterwards, especially those women that you've now seen because you're coaching people. The women, they don't want to do the sports bra photo, and they do the long shirt that goes beyond their hips. And I'm like, this is just, even if you lose 25 pounds, we're not going to notice any difference. So this is why, everybody. So you can just see how evident it is that she's done really well. If you have a long t-shirt on, it's just not going to work that well. You're not going to be able to see. So, so can you give any advice for folks, Katie, on how to successfully do our challenge, and words of wisdom post-challenge as well, now that you're a coach and a participant?
Sure. Okay. So
Let's start with the 6 week challenge first. So what's your key tips for being successful in the 6 week challenge?
Drinking that minimum 50% of your body weight in water, I found was huge, not only to helping me, lose body fat and such, but really, I really felt like it changed my entire way my body works. So like my skin got a lot better, my hair, which I've always had really greasy hair, genetically has been not a problem anymore. It just resolves a lot of things that my body was trying to overcompensate, creating more oils to replace the water that I wasn't drinking. So now my body's calmed down, and it's not overproducing things that it doesn't need anymore, because I'm drinking my minimum 60. I think I'm at like 64 ounces now or so that I need a day.
Yes.
So I'm doing that every day. One tip I have for that, to make sure you get it done, because it's hard to do some days, is I always drink 16 ounces on the way into the gym, and before I leave, I drink another 16. Yes. So that way I'm already, that means I'm halfway there already before I even leave the gym. Yes. And so the water hydration I found was really huge. And then as far as being successful with the actual nutrition part of it, that I think you just have to take it one day at a time. Like literally wake up in the morning, make your first food decision, making sure it's on plan, and then you could go to the next time you're going to eat, and it's a new decision. And every time it's a decision every time you eat. So that even if you get off track and make a decision or realize you ate something you didn't mean to or whatever, you can course correct by making that next decision the one that's on track.
Yeah.
So
Very
that's
cool.
what I found helped me, because it's a marathon, not a sprint.
Yes.
Telling people. So
Yes.
it's every time you eat, every day, it's a one day at a time kind of thing. So that helps me, so that I don't get caught up in the, oh my God, this is going to take 6 weeks. That's a long time. It's really flown by, these 17 weeks for me. It just flown by, and I can't even believe like how different I look in such a relatively short period of time.
And you probably didn't even, I mean, again, I just asked you for these photos recently, and we just put them side by side even just now. So
Yeah,
it's
right.
probably even hard for you to kind of like, oh, wow, I didn't know I even looked that much different, right? You
Yeah,
live with
exactly.
yourself.
I look taller. I like
You're
that too.
taller. Oh my God. You're yes.
I'm longer looking,
Yes.
you know?
Yeah.
So, yeah. Anyway, does that answer your question? I think it does.
Yeah, it's fine. Do you have any like kind of tips around meal prepping for folks, for yourself? Everybody's
So,
got different strategies within the program, right? Like I'm giving guidelines, but how you do those guidelines are kind of up to you. So,
so I'm a person who doesn't like to eat before working out or exercising at all. So I work out in the morning. I come home and I don't eat my first meal till 10 or 10:30 usually.
yep.
Um, and
And that falls right along the lines of our program. So that works out. That actually may be why you actually enjoyed the program too, because it fit
yeah,
into your model.
exactly.
Yeah.
And so I usually alternate between eggs and kale, or eggs and spinach as my first meal. And then sometimes when I'm feeling like I've had too much of the savory stuff, I do one of the protein shakes, smoothies, with a handful of berries and chia seeds and spinach,
Okay.
with the powder that I got from off the shelf there at the Harbor location.
Yes. Metagenics Ultra Meal Advance.
I like the
Ultra.
vanilla
Yeah.
personally, but
Yeah.
um, so that's worked out really nicely for me. The other thing I find is a really great thing to do with those smoothies is when I know I'm going somewhere that I don't know what my food choices are going to be, I bring one of those with me, or I drink it on the way there. Like if
Yeah.
it's a social event or it's a work related thing, where I don't know what my options are going to be, I make sure I have that so that I know I'm not going to be hungry. So if I opt for something, I'm not ravenous to the point of like eating the things that I shouldn't be.
Yeah.
So I think you got to set yourself up for success when you don't know what your food situation is going to be, or you bring it with you. Like, I went to a team lunch kind of scenario, which we ordered salads, and I asked for my dressing to be on the side, and I made my own dressing and brought that with me. So the salad would be fine because I knew what was in the salad, but I didn't know what was going to be in the dressing. So I made like a Caesar dressing, a homemade Caesar dressing that was on plan.
Awesome.
So I think it's a lot of it is thinking ahead, planning ahead, and setting yourself up for that next meal to be successful. Another trick for those that like alcohol is sparkling water with the flavorings, the bitters. You just have them put a little bit of bitters in that, and it's just flavor. There's no calories in it, really.
What's a bitter exactly?
It's
Like vermouth?
no.
What is that?
They're just these like it would be
Straight
like,
up alcohol, right? Like
yeah, but
yeah.
they put just a little like tablespoon in it,
Okay.
and it's enough, or less than that. It's probably less than that. They just put a little splash, and it gives the flavor to your sparkling water instead of always having water.
Right.
If you're out in a social setting, you can still have a drink and not.
And it is alcohol. I mean, you're kind of, it's not a
No,
shot.
there's no,
Oh, it's
no,
no alcohol. Oh,
there's no
got it.
alcohol. Mm-mm.
Okay.
So it's not a shot or anything.
Okay. Got it.
It's just like concentrated flavor.
Oh, all right.
And it's something that you normally mix into alcoholic drinks, but you can just put it into water and then it.
Never heard that one before. There
Yeah.
you go. That's why I'm asking. Yes.
But
I'm learning every minute.
it's
Yes.
a great way to feel like you're having a treat when you're
Yes.
out in a social, restaurant, bar, whatever, and not feel like you are missing out.
There you go.
I have another trick too with dessert type.
Yep.
Yeah, I have a lot of tricks.
Nice.
It's all
that's what we want to hear. That's why you're on camera.
So another one is are those awesome what are they, Mama Bear bars or
Honey Mama?
Honey Mama.
Yes.
Those are amazing.
Yeah.
So what I do is sometimes when like my family was having ice cream cake for dessert one night, and I was not interested. I mean, I was interested in ice cream cake. Okay. But I wasn't going to eat it. So instead I went and I got out a part of one of those bars. And while everyone was having ice cream, I was having that. And by the way, it tastes really great with chamomile tea. I like the lavender bars personally.
Yes. Nice.
And so I got to enjoy dessert with everyone and didn't feel like I was missing out on anything. And in fact, I think that the flavor of those bars is a lot better than the 31 flavors ice cream cake.
Yes.
So
make you feel better afterwards anyway.
Yeah. So I didn't have any digestive issues or anything, or have to take a nibble off of it or anything like that. I just got to enjoy something while everyone was enjoying something sweet as well. So I like to do that. I like to trick myself that I'm eating an entire ice cream cake when I'm just having a square of chocolate.
That's great. Cool. Well, one of the things you said earlier is definitely key is don't go to events hungry, and really don't get hungry. So that's kind of one of my things. Don't go hungry, don't get full is one of my quotes. And it's really good to carry stuff with you and plan, right? Because especially in this area, right? I don't know, we have some folks that may listen to this outside of the Bay Area, but it's just crazy. I mean, like I only live a mile away, but it could take me 20 minutes to get home sometimes. So it's just crazy. I rode my bike here faster than I can drive sometimes. It's pretty wild. So you just got to prepare. So you can take, like, it could be the smoothie, right? You can take the protein powder. It's not really not protein powder. It's meal replacement powder. And you can just put that in a shaker cup and just have it ready to go. And just add water when you're ready. That's one model. Or you can, as Katie did, prepare it ahead of time, probably blended something, and you can drink it on the way to an event. You just don't want to go to events hungry. You don't want to get hungry because we don't have willpower that lasts forever. And my goal is to have people be satisfied all the time. So, especially eating a higher fat meal with higher fat, higher fiber will make you full and satisfied. So hopefully you don't get hungry, but when you get hungry, it's just, I don't have the willpower either. So if I'm hungry and ravenous, I'm going to eat whatever's available, just like anybody else. So that's why these tips are so important. And, it's less about, these perfect strategies. It's more about just a couple little tips that can definitely keep you moving forward. But somebody, so like there are people out there, Katie, I don't know if you know people like this or you're one, but they have one bite of that cake. And I know this may seem a little extreme to some people, but that one bite of cake, like one drink of alcohol, could throw them off completely, and they could be successful like you were with your first 6 weeks and then really just go downhill all because of one piece of cake. I think that's a little extreme myself, but there are people that just have really crazy sugar addictions, and we don't, and as a society, we don't put a negative spin on sugar. We say, oh yeah, it's bad, it causes cancer, blah, blah, blah. But like you would not give your alcoholic friend alcohol, right? But people will give their sugar addict friend sugar, and even give them candy for dinner or candy for Christmas. It's just, it's pretty wacky, really, if you think about it. So we still have a lot a long way to go with this, these addictions that we all have, but it's pretty wild. But yeah, it's a good choice. And even for
Yeah.
me, like I have a huge sweet tooth, but you know, and I'll go crazy sometimes. Like I'll like say, okay, I'm gonna just have a cheat day today, and it always turns out really bad. Because I go to town, like I don't just have like a serving, I'll have like a lot, and I
Of a
almost kind
pizza.
of do it purposely just to make myself feel sick, so I won't do it again. But I enjoy the moment, and that's about all I enjoy.
So that's something that I've learned also doing
Yeah.
this. Doing it more strictly for 6 weeks definitely has given me more willpower in
Yes.
the later parts, so that now I actually can have just a bite of something
Yes.
and realize that I don't need to fill myself with all of it in order to enjoy it. That
Yes.
I can just enjoy a taste and be satisfied with the taste.
Mm-hmm.
Where when you're addicted to sugar, you can't do that. You just can't.
No.
So
Yes.
it takes that 6 weeks to lose that um, need. It becomes like one of the primal needs on the list,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
When you're addicted, you have to have sugar or that flavor or that kick. So yeah, I've realized that I don't have my dessert cravings in the evenings like I used to.
Yes. And same with me. Like, Adriana and Cheryl have been making these brownies that are amazing texture, but the sweet is not, it's just not that sweet. And
But
I
it
can
tastes
just,
sweet to you and me because we
yeah,
are off of the sweet most of the time.
but I just love the texture of it. I mean, it's made of
Yeah.
avocado and what else is it? Raw cacao, avocado, coconut oil or something. It's freaking
Sunflower butter. I made them
awesome.
too.
Yeah, I mean it's awesome, but it doesn't have that sweet taste. And even my daughter had it yesterday. She's like, "Oh, what is this?" I'm like, "It doesn't taste that bad to me.
I think
I
it's
actually kind of like
delicious.
it." Yeah. So anyway, but it takes a little while, and just know that this is, you know, the start. Everybody. So 6 weeks is a start, and then 12 weeks later, it may take you 12 weeks, it may take you another 6 weeks, whatever it is, but just keep progressing. And any last words on just how to keep moving forward, Katie? Just any last statements?
Um,
We said a lot, but
um, I don't know. I mean, I think it's just remembering that this is a lifestyle change. It's not a quick. When I was starting doing this, I was looking for a way to course correct my eating habits, and then, like you said, it was like, okay, now what? But it was
yeah.
not realizing at first that really this is about changing the way I look at food. And also for me, I used to stress out about what am I having for dinner, and and now I feel like I have guidance. I know what I'm going to have for dinner every night because I kind of have a more limited selection. It forces me to make those decisions, and I don't feel panicked about, oh my gosh, what are we having for dinner?
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm more thoughtful about it, and it makes it more interesting and less about, I don't know, the chore of it, and it becomes more of it's just part of my life, and how I am in my lifestyle. So I don't know, that's helped me a lot too
Very
with
cool.
just my mindset is
Yes,
as
that
well.
is the most important part. So
Mhm.
yes, so very good. Well, thank you so much for sharing and for being with me, and hopefully all of your accountability clients now can see who you are and where you started, and they are lucky to have you, as are we. So thank
Thanks.
you for being an accountability coach as well, and for all that you do. So thank you.
Cool. Thank you for putting this together.
All right, everybody. So that's it. If you have any questions for Katie or myself, you can add comments below where I post this, or just let us know. Email, text, whatever. All right. Thanks, guys. I'm going to shut it down. Thank you, Katie. Bye.